Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking all about layering. This is Layering 101. This video has been pretty highly requested on my channel. I very frequently do my layering combos videos where I show you, whatever layering combos I'm wearing at the moment. I love layering. It's kind of where you get to be your own perfumer in a way. You make your own customizable scents, exactly what you love. It's something super unique to you. And even though you might have a really basic perfume that half the world owns, you can tweak it and make it super original to you so that when you wear it, you don't smell like just that perfume. The combo with everything and when it all comes together makes you smell super unique, it makes you stand out, and it just makes your scent unforgettable. And I think that's why I love layering so much, is because I just love to curate my own unique scents. So today I'm gonna kind of get into the basics of layering. This is how I personally got into layering when I had no idea how to layer. When I first started getting into perfumes, I never thought to put perfumes together. I don't know why, that was never a thing for me. But now it's honestly rare that I wear a perfume on its own. I mean, I still do, don't get me wrong, but I love tweaking them. Even if it's a scent I really love, I can still play up on it and make it even stronger or add in something different that maybe I think it's missing that I would want to add in. So today, not only am I going to get into the basics, like talking points as far as what layering is, I'm also going to give you like actual examples of two perfumes that I'm going to talk about today specifically, and exactly what I would use to layer those fragrances. I did want to mention FragranceNet once again. I worked with them in my last video, and the perfumes that I'm going to be layering today are these two. So I got these perfumes sent from FragranceNet. They are an online retailer that sells hundreds, honestly thousands of perfumes. They have a lot of perfumes that are a little bit harder to come across in department stores, perfumes that are kind of discontinued or heading in that direction. And best of all, their prices are really discounted, so you can get even designers for as low as possible. I've bought from them personally prior to working with them, and in my last video there was a lot of you guys that told me that you've also shopped there a ton, and it's just kind of like a go-to fragrance website because they kind of have everything. Prices are amazing, everything is authentic, so it's just kind of like a one-stop shop for a fragrance lover. And they did kindly give me a code, so you can use my code Ksenia for 30% off on top of their already super highly discounted prices. With that code, you are going to be getting your fragrances for the best deal possible. So if there's any perfumes on your wish list right now, this is the best time to get it. Definitely utilize that code. It will get you such an amazing price. With all that being said, before we get into it, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let's get into it. For those of you that are just getting into perfumes and you have no idea what layering is, let's get into the most basic question about layering, and that is, what is layering? Layering is just combining more than one scent together, and the amount of fragrances you can combine is completely up to you. You can combine 8 perfumes if you want to. I mean, that's doing a little bit much. I don't think I've ever gone to 8. One thing about layering is that there is no rules. You can do whatever you want, much like makeup, much like fashion. It's up to you. It's about how you want to express yourself. It's about what you like. So it is totally up to you. There's no rules to it. You can put any 2 scents together or 3 scents or however many. If they smell good to you, then that is all that matters. So now that we've asked the what question, let's get into the why. So why do people layer? For me, I feel like there's 2 reasons why I personally layer. The number 1 reason is to create either your own customizable scent, meaning you kind of tweak the scent. If there's aspects about that perfume that maybe you want to change, like let's say it's too fresh for you and you're like, I wish it was a little sweet, you can add in something that's sweet. Or if it's too sweet, add in something that's fresh to kind of take away from that. So that's one reason for layering. Another reason being I want to create a really unique scent to me. So I could start off with a perfume I really love, and it's not that I necessarily want to change it, but I want to make it more unique. Like if it's a perfume that is super hyped, let's say Baccarat Rouge, where I know if I'm going to step out, I'm going to smell 1,000,001 people wearing Baccarat Rouge, and I want to smell a little bit different and stand out a little bit. That's another reason why I layer. And the third reason being you want to enhance your scents. So make them stronger, which will in turn make them last longer. I think those are the 3 reasons, at least for me, why I layer. Let's get into the how. So how do you actually layer? The way I started layering, and this is the biggest tip I would have for you guys, is I put scents that are similar scent profiles together. I think where layering starts to get a little bit more difficult is when you start to put scents that are not so much alike and you have to really focus on notes and like, oh, I want to bring in this aspect and that's a little bit, I would say, a little bit more advanced. But the basics of layering, and I think the easiest way to go about it, is to layer scents that have similar scent profiles, because when you do that, you know you cannot go wrong. As I said, there's no rules to layering, but in my opinion, there is one rule when it comes to layering, at least in the way that I layer, and that is that I don't put scents that are too strong or just two complete opposites, because that's just where I find things clash. And the purpose of layering for me is to make me smell better, make me smell more unique. I don't want to overwhelm myself and the people around me. So if there is one rule to layering, that's what it would be, at least for me. If I could give an example of two scents I would never put together, Delina by Perfumes de Marly, which is a very strong scent, amazing scent, super sexy, super great, but it's very strong on its own. You don't really need to layer it. I would not mix Delina with the perfume like Angel by Thierry Mugler, because those two scents on their own are super strong. They last forever, and they're so complete polar opposites to one another that would be the biggest clash on earth. At least in my head. I haven't actually ever put the two together, and that's the next thing I will say. In order to layer, you just have to layer. In order to kind of gauge what smells good together, you just have to do it. So even though I'm saying right now, Delina and Angel in my mind do not mix, until you actually put them together, you actually don't really even know. It's just, I know I would never put those together. I know for a fact I would not. But I will say, you never actually know how two scents will smell together unless you actually do it. So my one advice for layering is just go into your collections, put things together, and see what works and see what doesn't. Because you can think of two scents that you think would be amazing together, and then you put them together and you're like, I don't really like this combo. And then on the opposite side of that, you could put two scents together that you think would not go together at all, and then make an amazing scent combo. So that's another thing, is just try it. That's the best way you'll get really good at layering, is to just practice, just like everything else. Now I'm at a point where if I go into a store and I check out a new perfume, I'm automatically thinking of perfumes that will go well with it, just based off of what I'm smelling, because I have so many fragrances at this point, and I don't necessarily call myself a fragrance expert, but I do know a lot about fragrances. So whenever I smell a perfume, now I'm able to pick out notes in it, which makes it easier for me to pick out what perfumes based on those notes I'm smelling would go together. So for me, the best way I can answer how to layer is just put scents that are compatible. And I'm gonna give you guys my biggest tip ever, which this is how I started in layering. Fragrantica is your best friend. Search up any fragrance that you want to start layering with. Let's say today I wake up and I'm like, I want to wear Valentino Donna, but I want to layer it. The first thing I'm going to start off with, which I don't really do anymore these days because I kind of do my own thing now. I don't really need the help of Fragrantica, but if you are a beginner just starting with layering and you don't really know how to go about it, go on Fragrantica, search up the perfume that you are wanting to layer. So in my case right now, Valentino Donna. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a little section that says this perfume reminds me of, and there it will list off every perfume that has a similar profile to the perfume that you are searching. So for Valentino Donna, some perfumes I'm recognizing on here are La Vie Belle, Iris Absolue, Giorgio Armani C. Based off that, then I go into my collection and I see if I have any of those scents. I have Giorgio Armani C in my collection. Put them together and see how you like it. More times than not, the fragrance combo works because they are similar scent profiles, so they're compatible with one another, so they're not going to clash. That is just kind of like the most basic way. If you really don't know how to go about it, go through the Fragrantica route. But if you're a little bit more advanced, another way I would say is also go on Fragrantica and check out the notes. So for Valentino Donna, for example, this has top notes of bergamot, grapefruit, middle notes of iris, Bulgarian rose, and praline, base notes of vanilla, leather, and patchouli. You can pick out any one of those notes that you want to enhance or that you want to do the opposite of enhance. So for me, let's say I don't really love rose too much and I want to tone that down in here and I want to bring in something a little bit sweeter, then I would add in something like Velvet Petals. It's this fruity, upbeat, almondy, sweet, floral, and this will match so well with this because it still has a little bit of freshness, much like this one. It still has a little bit of floral, but it's actually not rosy at all, so it's gonna take away from that aspect in the Donna, and it just smells so beautiful and feminine and sexy. So it's similar to the way that this one smells, not in scent per se, but like vibes. I have worn these two together and they do smell really good. This is a really beautiful combo. But then on the opposite of that, if I want to make this a little bit more, let's say musky, a little bit more serious, like play on that serious factor that this has, because I would consider this a little bit more mature, and if I want to enhance that, then I add in the stars. I actually recently tried this combo and it just makes it so much more sexy. This one just has like a really musky, woody vibe to it. It's slightly sweet, much like this. So whereas Velvet Petals makes this even more feminine, even more pretty, the In the Stars makes it more sexy, makes it more seductive, makes it a little bit darker. So really it's just about what you want to get out of the scent. Now if I'm starting completely at step 1 with how to layer Valentino Donna, first of all, I already talked about how I think this smells in my last video, so if you want a full rundown of this, go check that out. But because of the iris and the rose and the vanilla, this has a very lipsticky sort of makeup powdery type of scent to it, and it also has a strong rosy floral vibe. It's completely different from Valentino Donna Born in Roma, which is way sweeter. It has that bourbon vanilla, it's a little bit more creamy, but I will say I would put the two together, Valentino Donna Born in Roma and this. I think that would make for such a sexy combo because the sweetness of that enhances the little bit of sweetness that this one has. So if I was trying to make this more on the sexier side and not as mature as it is, then I would add that. But as I said, if I'm starting completely from step 1, for me that is the shower. So I start layering literally the moment that I'm in the shower, just by what body wash I'm using. One of my favorite body washes, no matter what scent I'm wearing, I love this scent. This is by Olay. This one has notes of rose water and sweet nectar. So this is exactly what I would use if I was wearing Valentino Donna that day. I would start off with this because it has this beautiful, rosy, fresh, feminine vibe. My step 2 would be this lotion. This is by Oscar de la Renta. It's Bella Blanca, and I've been loving this lotion lately. It is such a just clean scent. There's not much going on in here. It smells like a bar of soap. So because it's more so on the simple side, it's not going to interfere with much. So again, that goes with this. I'm pretty sure this one also probably has a rose aspect in here. It's very toned down though. If I'm going to use this combo right here with this shower gel and this lotion, I would probably use Velvet Petals just because I feel like we have a very feminine vibe going here. So I want to continue that with a very feminine fragrance mist that plays on that floral aspect, kind of fresh aspect, and then I would top it off with Donna. Now you don't have to layer just with body sprays. You can layer with perfumes, like 1 perfume, 2 perfume, 3 perfumes, however many you want. Obviously don't go crazy because you might knock some people out, including yourself, because you're gonna be the one smelling yourself all day. With this, just because it's such a strong scent on its own, I don't think this needs much. So for me, this is like the perfect layering combo for this. So this is exactly how I would layer this and how I have layered it, so I know this works because it's an amazing combo. I've tried it already. And now let's go into another scent. So I also got this on FragranceNet. This is Couture Couture by Juicy Couture. This is the most amazing fragrance ever. It is so good. It's so affordable. I urge anyone to own this perfume considering how affordable it is. It smells so high-end, just so sexy. I get compliments everywhere I go with this. My husband loves it. Like every time I wear it, he compliments me on it. It's very true to the Juicy Couture DNA, but it's just more high-end, I would say, like more mature in the best way. This perfume has a lot of white floral notes in it, so immediately from that I know that white floral scents will work really well with this perfume. And also this one has plum in the note, so that's another really specific note where I'm like, okay, I really love the note of plum. So if I have any body mist with plum in them, or lotions or other perfumes that are very plum forward, I would love to mix that in here and just amplify that plum scent, because everything in here is blended really well, so there's nothing really that stands out. But if I'm looking at that plum note on here and I'm like, I want to enhance that, that's how I would go about it, is just by adding a scent that has plum in it. And then in the base notes, this one has amber, vanilla, sandalwood. So again, there's kind of like a little bit of everything in here. And these are my favorite and easiest perfumes to layer because they have a floral aspect, they have a fruity aspect, they have a sweet aspect, it has a woody aspect. So you can really play up on any one of those. So the way that I would start off with this combo, I would again start with this because the rose in here is not too heavy, so it just kind of creates a beautiful feminine floral vibe in here. It's not exactly something you pick out like crazy, so I would still start with this because it's just a pretty floral feminine scent. Another one that I really love to use in combination with that is Sweet Love by Bodycology. This one is a total dupe of Pink Chiffon by Bath & Body Works. This one has whipped cream and sweet rose, so it's just like, again, a sweet floral scent. It's really pretty. Now with the body washes, it's not gonna matter too much because it's not gonna clash that much with the fragrance, because let's be real, body washes don't really last that much. It's just in my head, I feel like it's doing something. And also I just love the experience of just taking a shower with the delicious body wash. So I feel like the body wash aspect is more so for me, but let's be real, it's not really something you have to do. Now body mist wise, there's a few body mist I would go for. So if I want to play up on the plummy factor of this and just make it a little bit more sweet, I would add in Cheirosa 40 by Sol de Janeiro. This is black amber plum and vanilla woods. So it's going to play up on both of that slight vanilla that this has in the base notes and also that plum, so it just fits perfectly. It just also makes it more sexy and I love that. If I want to enhance the scent, meaning I just want to make it stronger, which with this scent you don't really need to because it's already pretty strong on its own, but if I want to enhance it, I would add Cactus Blossom because Cactus Blossom to me smells similar to that Juicy Couture DNA, so it just works. It's like slightly floral, it's a little bit fresh, it's not too much of anything. It has this slight fresh, sparkling, almost tartness from this lemon note that it has. It's just really pretty, and I feel like it really goes with this. As far as like fragrances that I would pair up with this, like I said, this falls into that juicy DNA, so I feel like just about any juicy perfume would work for this. Viva La Juicy would work. The original Juicy Couture would work. And just so many others that just work with this fragrance that just kind of give a little bit of a difference with whatever notes those have. What I wouldn't add for fragrances like this, and even this one, is let's say a fragrance like this. Just to give an example, this is Cheirosa 71 by Sol de Janeiro. This is an incredible scent. It's like bakery in a bottle. It will make you smell like a walking bakery. It's like warm, gourmand, sweet, delicious cookies. And this is just giving you an example of what not to put together. So if these two are scents that are very perfumey on their own, they're very feminine, they have this classy, rich, bougie, sexy vibe to them on their own, I'm not gonna wanna throw in a cookie scent in there. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. A lot of layering is common sense. So put scents together that you know are gonna smell good. A scent like this and a scent like this are so polar opposites that they're going to clash. It makes no sense. Why would you put a bakery scent with like a pretty feminine, sexy, floral, beautiful perfume? Like, it just makes no sense. And really, that's all there is to layering. It's really not that complicated. Maybe it sounds more complicated than it is. And I hope this video was not a jumbled up mess. I tried to like write notes and keep this as organized as possible, but there's just a lot of different facets to layering. So if you have any specific questions more so about this topic, leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to reply to you guys. Check out these two scents on FragranceNet.com. They will both be linked in the description box, and definitely make sure to utilize my discount code Tanya for 30% off. That will give you an amazing discount on top of their already discounted prices. So if you're interested in anything, whether it's these two scents or anything else, check out their website. But that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!